Okay, what is going on, everyone? Thank you, Bird. It is 2 a.m. I have coffee. I am ready to go. First question. Have you gotten around to watching The Man in the High Castle yet? I have not. What would you say your deepest, darkest interest is? Um, hmm. I I don't know. I don't really have. Oh, I guess serial killers I find fascinating, and I read a book about forensic investigation once, and it was all about decomposition and all of that, and how they find out when you died, how you died, all that good stuff. And I actually stayed up for 4 days, and after I finished it, I took the test in the back, and I got a passing score, which was cool. After 4 days of not sleeping. Do you know how fucking awesome you are? Thank you. Also, do you watch Supernatural, and if so, what season are you up to? I am a big fan of Supernatural. That 67 Impala is fucking amazing. Um, I'm not sure which season it was. I got up to the part where, spoilers in case anyone hasn't seen it. I think I stopped watching after the devil got loose, like after they break the 13th seal, I think it was. I think that's where I stopped watching. But yeah, it's a really good show. As a motorcycle slash motorsport fanatic myself, I was wondering if you have ever ridden a motorcycle and what did you think of it? And if not, what's your dream car? Uh, I rode on a motorcycle when I was really little, on the back, obviously. I really liked it, and I actually wanted to get a motorcycle. And I was looking into how to get your permit, all of that, and the same day I was going to go up and get it, my permit, I on the news there was a story about a man who was hit by a semi while riding a motorcycle, and I really like the idea of motorcycles, but I don't know if I trust other drivers enough to actually get one. um, Dream car would probably be a '67 Mustang if I had to choose. I don't know much about cars, but I really like '67 Mustangs or an Impala. If birds are the worst pets, why do you have them? Any chance we will get to listen to your old erotic audios? Uh, my first bird I got when I was younger. He's fairly old now, and you can hear him talking. The other bird was a rescue. I didn't really want two birds, and but I couldn't really leave him in the situation he was in. So now I have two birds. Oh, the erotic audios. There's a very good chance you will eventually hear them. I'm leaning more and more towards yes. But if I do ever start posting erotic audios, they will be on a Patreon account instead of just somewhere else where anyone can gain access to it. One, so that underage people can't listen to it, and two, it will really help. Monthly pledges will help me upgrade equipment, and make all the effort of doing those worth it. I actually made a Patreon, but I don't have any bank info on there, so I can't really do the pledges or anything. But once I get that set up, I will let you guys know. Pretty bird. But yeah, I actually miss making those ones. They were fun to do. And on the Patreon, I'll probably do not just erotic audios, but other exclusive role plays and stuff like that. Okay, let's see. Ever thought of dubbing an animated movie? And would you let me be your blanket? Just wondering. Uh, I would love to dub an animated movie. Voice acting is something I would really like to get into. And actually, now that I have this set up, I could probably start doing it. The biggest problem is that I don't have a very quiet environment, and to do any sort of professional work, you really have to have it be totally silent. So maybe eventually. Oh, and would you let me be your blanket? That'll be hard through a screen. Would you forgive your girlfriend/boyfriend for cheating? And what would you change about yourself? This might be an unpopular answer, but the answer would be no. I would not forgive them. If someone cheated on me and we hadn't already decided that it was a open relationship, that'll be it. That's the end of it. I've seen too many relationships where someone cheated, the other person took them back, and the foundation of trust was either completely destroyed and the relationship didn't work out, or they ended up cheating again. So that's one of my big no-nos. If someone cheats on me, they're gone forever. No chance of getting back together or anything like that. Oh, and what would you change about yourself? Honestly, it would be nice to be a little shorter. Looking for shoes and clothes that actually fit me is incredibly difficult. Next question. Quick reminder, you're awesome and we all love you. Ever thought about doing a reading audio where you, for example, read a few chapters of your favorite book? Yeah, I actually have a book picked out that I'm going to do a reading of. It's my favorite book, actually. Well, one of my favorite books, and it's in the public domain, so I would be able to put it on here without any copyright issues. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure that there'll be people who are disappointed that it's not more of a role play, because it'll be much more just reading the book. But I figured it would be a decent sleep aiding, and especially if I add in rain and all of that. Are you a person that likes to take lead or be guided? How do you handle stressful situations, and any tips on how to do so? It sounds braggy to say that you're a natural born leader, but that's pretty much the case. With any situation, I always end up being the person directing, and I don't know why. It just sort of naturally happens. But it's not like I insist on being the leader. It's usually just people ask what they should be doing, and I start telling them, and it just kind of falls into place. I have no problem with someone else leading. The only thing I care about is getting done what needs to be done. I'm fine with whatever role I play in that. Oh, and how do you handle stressful situations, and any tips on how to do so? Realizing that it's not that big of a deal. Honestly. That's the biggest thing that helps me, is remembering that in the grand scheme of things, this little situation is not as big of a deal as it seems at the moment. Just like with a confrontation or anything like that, it's just not worth getting worked up over, like someone cutting you off in traffic. It's not worth all of that effort and all of that rage to get angry, yell at them, flip them off. It's 2 seconds out of your day. It's really not a big deal. That's usually how I try to deal with things. I'm not always successful, but that's how I try to deal with things. Let's see. Will you marry me? No. Sorry. When making an entrance into a party, do you make your presence known? Do you slip and look for someone you know? Do you sneak in quietly and find a spot to roost? Unfortunately, with how tall I am, it's my presence is basically known immediately. That's one of the weird things about being so tall is that as soon as you walk in, I think I've been in a situation where I'm hanging out with people and there's been someone taller than me maybe 5 times. Like, it's really not often that I see someone taller than me, so automatically when you're the tallest person in the room, you attract a certain amount of attention. But yeah, I like peace and quiet and just not being the center of attention, which is weird because I post these and that's a lot of attention, but it's different. Also, what is one guilty pleasure you enjoy too much to give up besides smoking? I really don't know. Honestly, I don't have many guilty pleasures. Yeah, I can't I can't think of anything. Sorry. Uh, what's the best way to get over trolls? We all encounter them and ignore them or try, but let's be real, stuff they say can do emotional damage. Weirdly enough, I haven't had to deal with any trolls on here. All of you have been absolutely lovely. Like, I haven't run in. I don't think I've even really gotten any negative comments yet, which is shocking. But it's the same with like I said before, stay calm and realize it's not a big deal. It's someone writing on the internet. It's really not worth getting upset about. If someone's bothering you, block them. If they make another account and do it again, block them. It's really people who like to troll thrive on attention, positive or negative. So ignoring them is your best option. Don't feed the troll, as they say. What's your horoscope? I have no idea. What is the best compliment someone has given you in regards to your audios? There have been way too many to list. Honestly. Like, all of the comments I get, lovely messages, just really nice. Everyone's so kind, and people saying, it helps them feel less anxious, or they listen to it when they have a panic attack, or anything like that, is really touching, and I'm so happy I can be of some help. Even if I can't help that much, I'm happy I can do a little bit. What is something you can never live without? Ooh. See, my first instinct is to be sarcastic and say air or water, but that's not really an answer. Something I would really miss is coffee. I'm a huge coffee drinker. Did you know that your audios and your voice can make a girl that lives in a conflict-filled country with booming and gunfire 24/7 feel safe even for a couple of minutes? So thank you for all of your audios. You are so welcome, and I'm incredibly touched that my audios can have that effect on you. And I'm incredibly grateful that you let me know that, because, like I said, you guys leave amazing comments and messages, and it really does mean a lot to me. So thank you, and I'm very glad that it can help you. Thoughts on pineapple on pizza? I'm into it. But it really depends on the other toppings, Like, you don't really want pineapple and... I'm trying to think of pineapple's good. I like pineapple. Who is your favorite subscriber? I don't have one. You all are fucking awesome. If you had this one's gonna be hard. If you had to pick between living in the Harry Potter universe or Lord of the Rings / the Hobbit universe, what would it be? Fuck. Oh, that's a tough one. See, I would love to be able to do magic, but I feel like I would just end up being a muggle and not knowing about the existence of wizards. I feel like in the Lord of the Rings universe, I could at least enlist to be a soldier. So get in on some of the action. So I will go with Lord of the Rings. What is it with your fascination with the woods and storms? The woods, when I was younger, my mom would always take us to nature centers, and I always had a real interest in nature and animals and all of that, and she really helped cultivate that. And it became a thing where, going for hikes and nature centers and all of that was a very regular part of my childhood. So it's partly a nostalgic thing and partly just, I love it. I love it so, so much. Sorry, I have to readjust. I'm sitting on my foot. Ow. I always do that and it always falls asleep. Dear God. What type of person were you in high school? The kind you wouldn't want to be friends with. That kind. How did you like collaborating with Cardlin Audio? Cardlin is fucking awesome. Like, really fucking awesome. He was very patient with how long it took me to get him the audio for my part, and I couldn't get any quiet time, so it took way longer than it should have, and he was incredibly patient with how long it took me. And he also put up with all of my questions about the script, all of that. Yeah, it was really cool, and I'm incredibly grateful that I got to play a small part in his audio. Bubble baths or showers? I haven't been able to take a bath since I was like 15. I'm too tall. I don't fit. It's like an adult sitting in a kiddie pool. If I had the choice, it would be a bubble bath if there was a bathtub big enough for me. What was the last song you listened to? Hold on. Let me check. I'm going to go into my history. I'm going to cut out the part where I'm searching so that you guys aren't just sitting here. Okay, the last song I listened to was Heart of the Warrior by Isaac Natero. I think that's how you say his name. It's a good song, I just found it. Are you listening to your audios after you upload it? I listen to them at least 5 times before I upload it, partly during editing, and then once I finish and I'm close to the final product, I listen to it multiple times and see if there's anything I need to cut out or re-edit or background noise or anything like that. So I listen to them quite a few times. But once they are actually up, I usually don't listen to them. Do you work at an animal shelter? I do not. There's actually one that I've been meaning to volunteer at, so I need to get on that. Also, could you make a period comfort audio? I think many girls would appreciate it. That is actually on my list to do. I usually don't do any gender-specific audios, that way everyone can listen. But that one has been requested a lot, and I've been meaning to do it. So I'll definitely get on that. How old are you? I am 23. What kind of music do you listen to? And name some of your favorite songs. I listen to literally everything. Everything. Like, there isn't a genre of music that I don't like. Some of my favorite songs. Again, I'm going to make a playlist for you guys. That way you guys can just see what I listen to, because there are too many to list. What's your real name? Sorry, I'm not going to tell you guys that. Seems not all that long ago, a collaboration with Cardlin was kind of a distant thing. Love that it happened sooner than you'd anticipated. How did it come about, and what did you find most challenging? A friend of mine who I didn't know is a friend of Cardlin's actually told him that I had mentioned him in one of my earlier Q&As. And So yeah, that's kind of how we got connected, and it was awesome. What did you find most challenging? The character I played, the villain, the kidnapper, was very different from what I normally do. I normally do very sweet, loving, boyfriend roleplay. So I've never really done any character acting, so to speak. So changing it up was a bit different, and it was fun, but it was also difficult to try to make it sound menacing, but not too menacing. It was really fun. I actually liked playing a villain. Do you feel overwhelmed since your channel is growing quite fast? Completely. Completely overwhelmed. I thought when I first made the channel, I was thinking I would get maybe, 500, 1,000 subs if I waited a long time. And then things just fucking exploded. And it's still very odd to me that I have fans. It's still a very bizarre thing to me. And again, just seeing how quickly it's grown, it's just so strange that this many people are listening to me. I'm glad about it, obviously, but it's definitely different. Could you do a long audio like the Seven Nation Army one again? I have been wanting to do a super long audio for a very long time. Those ones are just very, very challenging to do because if I do a script, it's going to have to be incredibly long, and I'm not that good of a writer. And if I improv, it's going to be very, very difficult to keep the momentum going. That's part of the trouble I had when making the Seven Nation Army video, because it's just so long. It's difficult to try to keep things flowing and keeping the pacing right. All of that is difficult, but I definitely want to make a long one again, especially now that I have my new mic. I'm from Argentina, the ass of the world. Do you speak Spanish? I cannot speak Spanish. I've been meaning to learn Spanish for a very long time, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Can you say something in my language? I would try, but I think it would just be insulting because I would butcher it. How many cigarettes do you smoke per day? Too many. Way, way too many. Oh, and they added, when you know how to quit, when you know how to quit smoking, call me. I will definitely do that. I've done it once before, but I got back on them. P.S. I know my English sucks. Sorry. Don't worry about it. Your English is fine. Do you like Latinas? Sure. What do you think of your collab with Carlin? What was your first reaction to the script? I won't touch on this too much since I already kind of answered this. My collab with Carlin was really, really cool. Like I said, the last time in that Q&A when someone asked me about it, I said it would be something in the distant future. I was thinking when I have 15,000 subscribers, if I ever reach that much. So yeah, it really took me by surprise, especially his comment. I had to do a double take, and I actually clicked on it because I thought someone was messing with me. My first reaction to the script was, oh my god, can I actually play this part? Like I said, I don't usually do villains or anything like that, so I wanted to make sure I could deliver on it and make it sound genuine instead of terrible. Top 3 horror films that scared you. The Exorcist, when I was younger, really freaked me out. That scene where she comes down the stairs. Next one is High Tension high tension is very disturbing. And the most recent one would be The Witch. If you haven't seen The Witch, you should see it. It's really, really good. What are your goals in life? To be happy. To be stable, be happy. That's pretty much it. What are you most afraid of, monsters or ghosts? Neither, because I don't believe in either of them, but if I had to pick, I would say ghosts, because you can't fight a ghost. A monster I could punch and stab and bite, but a ghost would just fuck my day up. What gave you the idea to start making these kinds of videos? Like I said, I originally started doing erotic audios, and the way I got started doing those was by listening, and I wanted to give back. And really what I was thinking was, even if they are absolutely awful, at least I'm trying to contribute, instead of having it totally just be me taking instead of, putting anything into it. And then but the vanilla, like, boyfriend role plays, I know people will kind of make fun of these kinds of things because it's a bit unusual listening to, well, not listening to, it's more unusual to make these kinds of things. But the fact that this is a substitute. This is a substitute for people who are lonely or feeling down, or these audios make people feel wanted and safe and relaxed, and it helps them sleep, and that's why I enjoy doing them. I know because I found people doing these, and I know how much they helped me, so I wanted to contribute and be able to give back. And again, even if only a few people listened to these, I would still make them because I like the fact that I can help people relax and calm down and be a substitute until they find the real thing, because it is a substitute and it can never compare to the real thing, but I can try to make it as close as possible. Where do you live? I am in the United States. And do you know about South Korea? I do know about South Korea. I've actually wanted to visit South Korea for a long time, and Japan. What's the color of your hair? My hair is hard to describe. I used to be like bleach blonde when I was a little kid. But now it's a very, very dark blonde brown with a little bit of red to it. I don't know where the fuck the red came from, but it's there. Have you ever dyed your hair any crazy colors? I haven't. I've never dyed my hair. Like, ever. Who knows? Maybe in the future. How do you sound so handsome? I was born with this voice. I got lucky. And this one is from Lexi. What do I gotta bribe you with for more kidnapper or perhaps Yandir? I'm not saying that right. More some Yandir cabin. Eyebrow wiggle. Oh god. Actually, it would be kind of fun to play Yandir. Yeah, don't make fun of me. I have no idea how to say that. At least not properly. That's something I should try, actually. I think I might. Anyway, let's see how long this has been running on for. Oh, about the 30-minute mark. That's actually pretty good for me. So yay. Anyways, if you are still here, thank you so much for listening and subscribing and leaving all these wonderful comments and being so cool. I really appreciate all the kind comments, and really just thank you for listening. I will see you guys in the next one.